And we have a lot more people. It is getting heated out here. The momentum is building. People are pouring onto the streets. Patrick to say, Onebe Kasakakra. Bibi Aboko, Patrick will lamp no, then a chairman.
The Patrick Niente, Mr. Lanson, Nisse, Yempesa Sumbia bedroom, Yepehain, Jamahama Yehain, Entina Yepesa Jamama, Ombra, non betinasu, Nayans on system Umaye, near Mr. Wakani said, Senya Yakasi Yamami Jemensta, or to me Yanshabuku Numuno, Yanshamu, Senya Beya, Yachibano, or Mumbre, because Yababy was a Siano, Yani, Entina Mepesa Mikacha Yanya Ibepuanuse, Miaweso. Mia Weston, about to cockata, me chocolate pala, Namia Wapa, Nakamama, Namahama Nabuji, Nakakalina Clara Kikama, Namashama Nakbabanadi, Gala Dupa. Okay, Meraku, I'm a Sammy Trap, I'm a Vampy, or Trap, I'm a Yova. Vote me, I will fifia. Register, I hear me, I hear Messiame. On to register, I had it. Oh, yeah, Tajabea, Kobe, Messiame, at Dakoa, Nuide. Okay, Tafifian, Yaka Jibea Glona Electoral Commission Tower, all of me are qualifying. We my Jabama Glona Electoral Commission Tobanade, Mijak Bagba, Namia Namia Kwakbalama, Namusha Muna Yiji, one not a dear, Amaraka Pamkamagabo, Alabama Star, NDC MPP Talk for Global, Miaweni Miapa Dawamo, Yetapia Chocolate, Mabami Chocolate Kala, Namia Wapa, Nagana Dukwana Yungo. Namashama Nakwe, Mahama Nabanya Kakalina Duko, Akbe. So the momentum is getting high. We do have quite a lot of people still pouring in. We are right here at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, where supporters of the NDC and Ghanaians at large are here to fight for what they say is their right. Voting, has gone on in this country for many years, right? And we've seen precedents where we've had issues with registers, etc. People are saying this election is a very crucial one. How crucial is a credible register to such a crucial election?
This is a wonderful election. This is we the youth who are fighting for Ghana. And today, some like me, I went to the whole Ghana. Our water, our everything. If we say we will talk about the water, my brother, you will cry. John is fighting for Ghana, and MPP government is spending our everything. This Galamsey is our problem. Youth are suffering, and people are coming to different countries doing bad things, and Ghanaians are sitting, and Ghanaians are really angry. So what am I talking about the youth? So JM will come and change the youth for Ghanaians, and we should be free.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. We'll definitely cite you again on this all-important demonstration, sir. Thank you. So we do still have people pouring in. Like I did say, the interviews will continue. And we are moving on to a very known face. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good, your brother.
I'll take your shades away with you when I'm going. But then again, today seems to be a very monumental one. Not just in the NDC's tenure, but in the life of every Ghanaian. Because we all understand how important it is for the electoral roll to be one that is without blemish. For you out here, I believe you are here because you believe it has a lot of blemish, do you?
Very well. The understanding of all the people gathered here today, and even those demonstrating in all 60 regional capitals, and those who are not able to join any of the 60 regional capitals, is that you can do all the campaigns. You can campaign for your candidate. You can have the wish that on the day of election you vote for your candidate. But if the register is irredeemably flawed, there's no way your candidate can win the election. And because we have identified the fact that the register is flawed, and the outcome of an election based on that register cannot be said to be a credible election. That is why Ghanaians are on the street today, not only in Accra, but for the first time in the history of this country, we have demonstration ongoing simultaneously in all 60 regional capitals. That should tell you something, that Ghanaians are not ready to accept anything average, but something that is beyond average. In fact, that is close to perfection. This is a crucial election. It is an election that will define the destinies of young people of this country, and we are not taking no chances. We are leaving no stone unturned. Anything that will serve as a blockade in our way to ensure that the will of the people manifest, will remove that blockade. And that is why people are on the street today to vent their spleen at the Electoral Commission, that the errors, the illegality with the register, if their motto is transparency, then they should demonstrate that indeed they are transparent. And the only way they can demonstrate that is to ensure that there is a forensic audit of the register for everybody to be clear in his or her mind that the register is credible and any outcome of that election based on that register will be accepted by all.
Definitely. Thank you very much for your time. We definitely will see you along the route, marching towards the EC to present your case.
That is great. That is great.
Yeah, so yeah, we are still on the trail, and yeah, definitely we still have a lot more people pouring in. The message is getting drummed in as quickly as it can be. Good afternoon, sir. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you doing? You're looking good.
Excuse me?
You're looking good this afternoon. You're not looking good. That you're angry. If you take off your shades, you'll probably see it. The eyes are red.
But I hope you are doing well too.
I'm doing well, by grace. I mean, we are all out here to fight for a certain democracy that I want to protect. Now, in the heat of all of this, the Electoral Commission has been on record to say that demonstrations will not solve the problem. It's about sitting on the table. Do you believe that is subscribing to the fact that they would not listen?
First and foremost, if demonstrations were not going to solve problems, it wouldn't have been guaranteed under the 1992 Constitution. So that is an argument that nobody should even deal with. Two, the essence of democracy is also to bring, demonstrations, is to bring a very topical issue to the front burner. And basically, for us, the credibility of the register is key. Because if we are supposed to have peace, in this country after the elections, we must be seen to be fair, and the arbiter, and in this case the Electoral Commission, must be seen to be fair. The interesting part of the whole story is that the current chairperson for that the electoral management system that's in Ghana here, Jane Mensah, when she was then the head of IEA, called for an audit in 2015 when these same issues, in fact lesser issues, because in this case we are talking about a system that is not robust, a system that if I sit in my house I can enter into, take somebody's name out and put somebody's name without even Electoral Commission knowing. And the evidence we have it, the Pusiga issue is a clear indication of that. So for them to say that that's not going to solve the problem, it's neither here nor there.
There have been a lot of calls for this particular audit. But then again, the people that are at the helm, do you not believe that there should be calls for their departure from the helm as well?
You see, first and foremost, let me tell you, every activity that, even though they are guaranteed by the 1992 Constitution to be independent, they are accountable to the people of Ghana, because it is my tax that they use, it is your tax that they use in doing that, and so everything that they do must be to the dictation. The issue is very clear. As of now, we want to have a credible register to go into this election. We just have roughly about 8 days to go to an election. I cannot speak confidently that I have a register that is very credible. If I do not have a register that is very credible, trust me, anything that comes out of that register will be a problem. Yes, there's a call for now for their issues. We'll deal with them later. But for now, let's deal with the register, and the register must be dealt with. Because there's no longer going to be an exhibition. And if there's not an exhibition, how do we then cross-check all the issues that we have talked about? If we are talking about pardon just transfer list, about 243,000, that's a huge number. And so, my brother, Ghanaians must know that this is not a fight for NDC. This is a fight for democracy. This is a fight for our very survivor. And if you have a group of people who think that democracy can be thrown to the wind, look, we just had 8 people die in the last elections. Trust me, with this current type of register, we can have the whole country having the issue of a bloodbath.
Well, thank you very much for speaking to us. We are still following the course to ensure that your reliefs are met. Thank you, sir. So, like I said, we are still here. And joining us is another very familiar face, Obobia, and she's with the one and only Stan Dogbe. But then again, Obobia will join us. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you too?
It's good to see you as well. I mean, all clad in black. It shows that there's a certain deep-seated dissatisfaction.
We're not happy. We're all Ghanaians. If a decision comes and then there's something that clearly shows that there's something wrong, the EC is a public place. Our taxes pay them. So if we register our protest against something, I think that is important for them to listen to us, give us an audience and deal with the situation. But don't make it look as if that you simply do not care. What you want is what you will do. I don't think that it is fair.
I mean, people are clearly outraged by the ambivalence of the Electoral Commission especially in the midst of these. I mean, they are on record to have said that demonstrations will not solve the problem. But then again, if people do not portray their outrage, the problems will not be solved. What are the next steps after this demonstration?
I think that after this demonstration, they themselves will know that the Ghanaians are not happy. The moment they know that Ghanaians are not happy, if they decide to go ahead with whatever it is that they want to do, I'm sure we'll think about the next step. But for now, we want them to know that we are unhappy, and we are telling them that they better listen to us. Otherwise, I'm sure that our anger will take the next step and they won't be happy about it.
Well, I think that for me, the fundamental message is what John Mahama delivered 2 days ago, that the Electoral Commission has a responsibility not to betray the trust that Ghanaians have in the Commission. We have touted our Electoral Commission and our democracy as an example for the continent in various forums and at various times. And that trust that we have in the Electoral Commission is gradually waning from what started from about 2018, 2019, in the 2020 elections and now. And I think that all these machinations, all these voices, all these gatherings is just a reminder to the Electoral Commission that the people of Ghana have trust in the Electoral Commission, not they, the individuals who are in the Commission, but the Commission itself. And it's important that they do things that are right so that that trust is maintained. It is only when that trust is maintained that whatever they, the individuals there do towards this 2024 elections, people will consider it fair, and they will ensure that the elections are concluded peacefully.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stanislav Dogbe. He joins us right here. We do have a few more people in the building. A legal luminary par excellence joins us as well. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you too?
It's good to see you. Let me rub off you. I'll probably start rattling orbit decline ratio decidendi as we go along. But then you join the course of Ghanaians. And for somebody who understands a lot and a lot of us, what is the essence of a forensic audit of our register?
Yeah, so a forensic, when we say something is forensic, we are basically saying that we suspect some foul play and we expect to unearth that foul play and correct the system. Audit generally is meant to make sure that things are done in accordance with stipulated rules. Here, as you can see, the NDC came up with evidence which they placed before the Electoral Commission that there are serious flaws in the register. Now the Electoral Commission has seen the flaws, has admitted the flaws, and has said that they have corrected or they are in the process of correcting the flaws. But the question is about credibility. How do we know? How do we believe that what the EC is saying is true, especially when they themselves have not been able to detect the flaws? So, the of calling for an independent audit, or that the register is really a true register. And let's be honest with ourselves. When we call for audits globally, this is not something new. It happens in Kenya, it has happened in Uganda, it has happened in other countries. It is a normal practice that when there is a voters register and there are flaws in it, in other jurisdictions, it should have been mandatory that even some few weeks before the election, there must be an independent audit. If you have a company, you know we have internal auditors and we have external auditors. So ask yourself, why do we have internal auditors and we have external auditors? It is simply because you sometimes cannot trust the credibility of the internal auditors. And even with that, beyond credibility, it is always better for someone who is not in the organization to look at what the organization is doing to ensure that it is actually in line with the rules. So what the NDC is calling for is simply that, look, we need to look at the register so that only persons who are duly registered and are eligible can vote, and that nobody who is not eligible to vote is allowed to vote, and most importantly that no person is allowed to vote more than once. If these three things are done, then we can be sure that whatever results we are collating at the end of the day are the true results of the election. Why should someone be opposed to this? Ask yourself, why should someone who claims to be a Democrat be opposed to a call for an independent audit which is intended to make the election more transparent? Clearly, there's no reason why anybody should, except one, which we all know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a historical precedent, and in 2015, the current Electoral Commission chair called an audit. What do you think has changed?
Yes, so, like I said, it's a normal practice. Calling for an audit is a normal practice. And so, anyone who suspects and has legitimate basis and evidence to show that there's an error, then the audit must be done. And here, there's a flaw, serious flaws. The EC is reading the flaws. All it's saying is that we are correcting it. Then why shouldn't you allow independent auditors to look at what's happening? So this is not the first time. It has always been the case that whenever someone suspects that there's a flaw, and depending on the nature of the flaw, obviously then you must get the audit to be done.
Well, I mean, thank you very much for speaking to us. We'll be keeping a key eye on you as we go along the march. But then again, we do wish you all the very best because we want all of these things to be solved for all Ghanaians. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, we are still here. People are still pouring in. The euphoria is on the up. People are here not just to register their displeasure, but to drum home their concerns and ensure that they get the solutions that they want in a very, very crucial time like this. Patrick saying, hey, oh man, say you must say I'm simply because almost
for a forensic audit of the voters register is exactly what they are talking about. It's a critical demand, not just the NDC, but the entire populace of Ghana is asking for. But let me get a bit closer, and then I'll find out from him why he is here as well. Tell me your name. Why do you want to be part of this particular demonstration?
Okay, my name is Abdul Razak Chachas, the Deputy Director of Research, Bono Region. Actually, I'm here to show solidarity to the entire nation and then to my party. Because you know, what does the EC have to hide? What does the EC benefit if he refuses to be transparent? Their motto is to be transparent and then fair. So if the NDC is saying that the voters register is filled with unnecessary transfers, ghost names, etc., and then we are only asking the EC there's an audit of the voters register, because Charlotte say when Mensa was the head of the IEA, she instructed Charlotte say to audit the voters register. What has changed now? So we are here. If they have nothing to hide, if they think they are transparent, if they think they are fair, we are only asking a simple question. He should just listen to advice what the Ghanaian people want, because they are not working for themselves. Because if they refuse to do audit the voters register, it might assume that they are having something to hide. Because for me, for instance, I am from the Bono region. I know Apia Hene. He's a communicator. I sat in the studios with him and we communicated, and we did communication for our parties. He is now at the IT section of the Electoral Commission. I know Boss Mahasari as a patron at Legon. I know Hajia Salima Tijani. She was a women's commissioner. I know a whole lot of the EC, and the EC department is becoming an annex of the MPP political party. So we know that we are going to win the elections on the ground. So we are only asking them to be fair, and we want to protect our democracy. So as a result of that, they should just audit the voters register if they have nothing to hide. Until that is done, we are not going to allow anything. We are not going to be shortchanged. And this generation is the wrongest generation. You know, some people took guns. I'm talking about cooperative boy and the likes. They took guns to defend the country. We are willing to march. We are willing to demonstrate to make sure our democracy is protected. We are willing to make sure that our votes are counted. We are willing to make sure that the NDC is not shortchanged, and they will not shortchange us. And I promise you, Jane Mensa can do whatever she likes. We are winning this election fairly and squarely. Until they audit the voters register, we are not going to allow them to use this.
the EC seems so adamant in listening or paying heed to your demands or the demands of the many Ghanaians. What next after this demonstration?
You know one thing, they said it is only the stubborn fly that follow the corpse to the grave. This is our first step. Our subsequent steps, we will just tell the masses, and they can't stand the heat. They can never stand the heat. They shouldn't underrate the NDC. And I always say, we are from the revolutionary era. It is not a threat. It's a reality. We are not threatening anybody, but we are telling them we will not be shortchanged. And when we talk about men, we have the men. They don't have the men. If they are doing the bidding of the MPP, you can ask yourself, why is the MPP other political parties saying that they should audit it? Civil society organizations, Christian Council, and the clergy, they are all asking that the right thing is supposed to be done. What is the easy? What will the easy lose if you audit the distance? It has been done before. Why can't the easy? James, are you instructed Charlotte say to do it? We are just asking what was done yesterday should be done today. And I don't know why she's so adamant. Unless she's working for someone and she's not working for the country. And she's not working for the peace and the democracy of this country. And we can assure her, she will not be the one to make sure that we lose this democracy. If she chooses, she will leave the job and then make sure that Ghana is in peace. So I think all people, everybody who is watching me today, should come and show solidarity with the party. It is not only the NDC who is here. The entire masses, every Ghanaian, every patriotic person will be here to ensure that, and everybody knows that what we are asking is just the honest one and the good way to go to ensure that we don't want to hear Burkina Faso, we don't want to hear Cote d'Ivoire, we don't want to hear Niger, we don't want to hear anything. And I'm telling Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, even Yaya Jammeh has been taken out. Mobutu Seseko has gone. Who India me has gone. Who is Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo? He is a man than them. Is he big than them? He is not big than anybody. When the will of the people is denied, he cannot make peace in this country. And that is not what we are calling for. We have one Ghana and we have a peaceful country and we want to protect it. And we are not trying to just create any harm or maybe cause any uncivilized action. We are just making sure that the right of the Ghanaians and the right of the citizenry is being achieved.
Thank you so much for speaking to us as well. So there you have one of the members of the NDC also speaking to us, and of course he has also enumerated the reason why he finds himself at the Obra Sports this time around. But again, I'll cross over to my colleague Kosi Fiaka so he can also conduct some of the interviews from the other side. Stay with us here on Wezo TV.
That Wezo TV,
Nkwenye de Lagbaru, Mato Adenta constituency. I'm a chairperson of one of the branches, Adenta. Yeah.
Do bucho Adenta Wuvafi. Ela bena no dole ji memele dijonamio no kaele ji memele dijonamio.
No heji mema jizomna Ghana duko kata arokuka makata yenya ale kuka mabasa sam avalia jidudu ya lifia oblami atolia yenya miafa voter register agbana yimo ongramo fankoro yika fiaro odrabo fankora ko ira dububuma afiaro ha okwe ko dara dubna para manama Adenta o convert dara blakusu avonya mala blakusu
ata jode jiwa ha
jore mi aba fi maha ta rumata agba yejibe akoi dagola la palachi wieve paka kadra amana ko fio omaga fi amarako omaga ba marako ya tonya tafa jemensa alaba wasanu goma anya banare register afia ma register ipon koro afima ba ngronya koro ba mala Adenta alaba nyankora no Adenta malaba odanyanko abedara blakusu aro kajio avonya mala kajio mala gela Adenta yata numata agba keka makata adogo ba mia wo refia no kweza shiba no ya zozoma anya vavasasa miejiba buna kori la Ghana mia wela toma fafa NDC toma fafa tonya numa tai jo Mahama ayo dujo ba madujo dokora sheshi fiati aya ta fifia ao fifia la gbere nyatafe mazanyi gabri now ya mejiba nyatafa na za jemes donuma ameo kata opanko odre ko ire dububuma no kwezi no va dara register ma wo no tapa pepepe na gbegbe na kodagba na adako lo ti fa fama.
So so she is saying she's saying very clearly that there are a lot of discrepancies with the voters register, and she's a victim of that. Even though she votes in the Adenta constituency, the vote has been transferred illegally to Blekusu, and it's a matter of concern because she knows that a credible register will ensure peaceful elections. She went on to say that the NDC is a peaceful party and they do not want any bloodshed. So if Jean Mensah is watching and listening, she implores that Jean Mensah would not ensure that these elections are very more people in the building. So that's why we have a lot of people right here pouring onto the streets, and the numbers keep increasing, and the police as well are doing an absolutely fantastic job ensuring that everybody is safe. There's law and order, and then so far so very good. The protesters have been very peaceful. Joining me is Mr. Randy Ahaji, my colleague from Wezo TV. Randy, how are you doing? Amazing. Before we speak to you, Chief Agunu is here. Chief Agunu, you want to join us? Thank you. Randy, don't leave us, please. Chief Agunu, how are you doing, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
Definitely. I mean, you're out here clad in your red. I believe your eyes are as red as your t-shirt.
Our eyes are red. The eyes of the nation is red. I mean, we are angry and hungry for a change. But it seems some people do not want the change because they are afraid of accountability. But it will happen. What will happen will happen. Change is inevitable. So we are eye-red.
The Electoral Commission seems to be a very key actor in all the fracas and the brouhaha. Just how important is it that they cede to the demands of all the Ghanaians that have poured onto the streets today?
So the Electoral Commission is an actor and a partner in the rot that is happening. And for that reason, they will agree with the ruling government not to do what is just, because when the time of accountability comes, they will also be called upon to account. For that reason, they wouldn't want a change to happen, but it will happen. What will happen will happen. As for change, it is definitely going to happen. Change is constant and it will take place whether they like it or not. But we are here today to pour out our frustration and our anger and send them a clear message that change is going to happen.
Definitely. So Chief Agunu is very confident. Change will happen. Change is going to happen. So the demonstration is still ongoing, as you can see. The march has started.
And ready for this work as well. Francisca, the EC tells us that whatever the challenges are, they are working on it. Why do you still want to demonstrate?
We don't trust this EC. If they were working on it, they would have worked on it for a long time. I remember during our time in government in 2016, we had this same MPP people also calling the EC to audit the register. And the EC agreed to audit the register. So I don't understand why this EC is dragging their feet to audit the register. This is a simple thing we are asking. Just audit the register for us and just we'll have peace. That is all that we are asking for.
What happens if the EC doesn't listen to your pleas?
Oh, the election will not come on. I'm saying it as I'm saying it. The election will not come on because this register cannot take us to the 2024 election come December. We will not agree. This register must be audited, and it must be audited. And it must be done now and now and now.
And so you look at the numbers. Is this a clear sign to say that look, people are really asking the EC to listen?
Oh yes, absolutely. The EC must listen to us as Ghanaians. Despite the fact that we are NDC, we are Ghanaians first before any political party. So we are registering our complaints as Ghanaians. So the EC must listen to us and make sure that they abide by what we are saying and they make sure that they do it accordingly.
Francisca, thank you so much for speaking to us as well. So there you have, of course, I'll get a few other people. Yes, of course, she will come. she will join us as well, and then the others as well. I'm sure, looking at you, you have experienced elections before, and you know what it takes. The EC seems to be adamant in listening to the pleas of the people. And to me, bisa say, and then then pa upese ubeka chere EC.
Me paucho. Media sidama nyami se ne oma meeting kwemu. Me pese min kan chere EC ni se ade na oye last 4 years no afiwe me pese min fa mi moja ento ho magana. I didn't na me kasa ni se me back go school university omo awie 7 years 4 years ni omo wo fie twi nkoso aden wo si ya tisikasu akomu di ye ene ye wo gold ye wo manganese ye wo silver ye wo oil ye wo cocoa ye wo bibia ye wo timber aden
COVID-19 Russia Ukraine war
ahi na omu di sikadiko sikanu je na omu di ye si katigra na yesinu aye tokro ni ayon road nkoa
ana wonya Christopher ni
me ya Christopher na busum Christo we dia mimpe busum Christo mimpe ye wo churches bebre asa ye enye maye
me bisa say ene se mu ye demonstration e wi a na isi omunti ase a then am we ye obeti ase ye gina ye naisu ye Ghana ma obeti ase onti ase a ye nyina ye beko we are all in Ghana obeti ase Ghana no enye ni dia enye MPP dia all of us it's anything onti ase so onim say what you are doing is right ada na unfa register ni to na party A party B party so bia hwe say bibia credible and now this say this a demonstration ada ti ye ni abe obeti ase pa ye ni abreko obeti ase all right and me bisa yeah
yisilu ye nim ni obeti mi aye 2020 different results best 7 which means onukra ye incompetent because say to me result ekufado did 2020 not 2024 year call election wakasa wa admit say there is a problem with some transfer over 200,000 people are transfer more without their knowledge it is NDC the aba say yenya forensic audit forensic audit ni we are na obi atini wan say abana ye kwakoto no credible they are preaching but also player let us say you have starting hiding with the MPP let us say the mesa oni MPP for aye baako and omo person omo rigging election and yesu ye person ye benya comedian as a president but omo ye comedian na obi a say mami stia obi a ya tatu ni say oye economic whiskey na se si awe baby a obefa $1 na se si awe baby $1 du itinu ye pesa anti ye demonstrate ya da eduma to us ene ye be demonstrate atraba ni say oma yi si ni the right thing na ye nyina ye hu to ye enko about one peacefully.
All right, thank you. We'll just wind up quickly, but before then let me just pick the last thought from one of the participants here. Tell us your general expectations.
I am quite impressed over the crowd. This even sent a great signal to the EC that whatever she is planning, the NDC is ever ready for her. This, what happened 2020, can never happen 2024. The power of the people is always at ready. We are poised for power because 2024, never again. But with all this, I don't blame anybody. I blame His Excellency former President Kufuor.
Why?
He is the existing former president as at now. Can't he see what is happening? Does it mean that whatever is going on, he has supervised over a corruption deal within the Akufo-Addo's administration? He has never spoke anything about it. Now he is also watching for this country to be sent into another ditch. We will never allow it. There is a saying in Akan that Openya watnefie or Yarinanka, your friend and Karifona, Yadenika home. So if only Ajay may come out now, say one person said, yeah, Utra Sina Uja Ghana, Asunjama Obinum. So Upe say Ghana, Sunjana Uja, Esa Kwasudia, and Aja Kufuor, sorry, Neka Bibichira Sa Aquanum, because when I didn't say, the Obekebianum, when Tiobia, say Wuna Utnasinum,
why you who penny now? Who of yes the same? So why you are doing say? Uber can crash the mention in Crawford. Na nse hunu na homudi no mbegaya se ya na obehwa magana akwadia ene ye be frep nankarifo na ye de wo beka ho.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us. But let me just inform our viewers that look, the work has begun, and of course we're going to be with you till the last stop, where we'll bring it to a finality. But Koshi is still here with us. Let me just wrap up this quickly before we move to the last end as well. Koshi, just a general thought about what you have seen, the people you have spoken to as well.
Definitely, there are people from all walks of life, like I said earlier. The demographics are amazing, and as you can see, we have every person joining.
I thought we said we were wrapping up. I thought we were wrapping up. But yes, I spoke with one of the Reverend Ministers earlier, but here is another man who is from the clergy. Have you guys not disappointed us?
We've not disappointed. Hey, who told you we have disappointed you? The fact that
the Christian Council is quiet. The National Peace Council is quiet.
Yes.
You are just a member.
Listen.
That's why I said you guys have disappointed us.
I support the fact that the National Council, the Christian Council is not working.
They aren't working. You agree?
Yes. They failed Ghanaians. The Peace Council have failed Ghanaians because they are not addressing issues. Watch this. They should really address issues like the collapse of the bank. They should intervene in that matter and say that you can take off the directors but leave the workers so that thousands of Ghanaians can work. We understand. That is why some of us we've come out so that we, even with a Christian whatever, one must come out and say this is wrong. The Bible said the righteous shall be as bold as a lion. So you can't say,
are you being bold?
Yeah, if I know, but I would not wear my regalia. What do you mean? If I would not wear my gown and come here, for what? I wear the gown for official whatever. I don't wear gown for anything. So if I wear gown, that should tell you that my member told me that, hey, you are serious. If I wear gown, I'm serious. The moment I wear gown, I'm very serious.
The simple question or the demand people are asking, especially the NDC and to a large extent CSOs Ghanaians are asking, is a forensic audit of the voters register.
I'm here. I said that, but you started with the questions. Listen, I am here because we want peace in this nation. Now, somebody asked for forensic audit 2016. Somebody asked for forensic audit 2016. Years back, someone else said, I'm also asking for forensic audit. You said no. You are not being fair here. So that's why I said that the UC to sit up. Me being part of the clergy, I will talk to her that listen, just stop what you are doing. And it's not fun. Well, remember, even Rollins hand over power. Even Rollins with military, he hand over power. Nobody just there. Salotosai is just there. Nobody is attacking her. Don't do things whereby people will look at you with certain eye. You understand? Don't do things to find trouble for yourself. Be open. Call all the stakeholders. Let them sit down. Have a credible register. If you have that one, anyone that goes to election at the pool and he lost, he have lost. He will believe in it. Oh, that the register is genuine. But you can't keep this one and tell me that you've lost. It's wrong. So it is we the pastors that have to talk. It's we pastors that we have to come out more on this matter. So nobody should criticize me that I'm joining the demonstration. We the pastors have to come out and speak that what is going on is bad. The Bible said the righteous shall be as bold as a lion. You understand? Be bold. Speak your mind.
Bishop, thank you so much for speaking to us as well. There you heard it, yes. So just Koshi, so you know, he is the second member of the clergy that I spoke to. It tells you that Ghanaians are agitating, they aren't happy. Let's wind up so we join the work.
Definitely. I mean, this is beyond party colors. This is a clarion call for a safeguard of our democracy. A democracy that we've jealously guarded for the last few decades. And I believe all Ghanaians out here would be clamoring for that. It's been an absolutely phenomenal experience. I believe we are going to be on this journey as we go along, bringing you every breath, every word, every emotion and every sentiment on this all-important march.
Very well. So there you had my colleague Kosi Fiaka. So again, from the sounds, as you can hear, they have started working. Over millions of Ghanaians are here at the Obra Sport about marking that milestone, that achievement, that instinct to tell that, look, easy, you ought to listen to the millions of Ghanaians. The call again is to have an audit of the current voters register so we can have a free and fair general elections. So stay with us here on Wezo TV. Thank you so much for sticking and staying as well. Thank you.
Aha, I am Nakado Ghana Limited. Your work as well, just up hospital. Yeah, you might be in Sassi, where you money. Yes, I see dying. Yes, also yes, surveying. Nature in Sassi soon crater. Yes, also the infidel high. We are surveyor around. Now, baby, the age of my bar, you be a mount. There was Sassi of me, baby. You will be what danger. You will be out to group. You will be what you chew, you will be what akuti. Upesoni Nakado Ghana Kasa. Frey wa umainsu 0536 943494.
Ya mwakwa baba Nakado Ghana Limited. Ya ton sase. Ye si adan. Ya adan ho krata. Oba hanom a ye bete so ama. Ya sase no langard ni so. Se wu usika nso kra na oba. Ye bebo moden ni ahwew. Watua ne kakrakra. Se mpo wo ye bodwa adwuma. Se uton pia water wo ye de yo ni wo ye bia no. Behwe ne ate so ama wo. Wo se ukura usika nso sika boten so ba nso e behwe na ya hwe ne aye ho adwuma ma. Ya sase no langard ni so. Aha no ntokwa. Ya ne asase ne sa eni hanom. Na se ye mo asase ne nso a ye behwe ho ahu se ubenya wo krata a wo de dache obibi ni abetumi aye ho adwuma.
Within the big mama. My daughter asase. Me papa signa na me sakai. Asase so da form e wo Nakado company. Asase for 4. So when you usika so pa ye ma obi. Na wo twa kakra. Enti papa na me sakai. Ti obi ambra. O ma gine die. Obi ambra. O ma gine die. Obi ambra. O ma gine die. Nakado company.
Aha, ɛyɛ Nakado Ghana Limited. Yɛwɔ Kaswa Jestap Hospital. Yɛyɛ adwuma yɛdi yɛ nsase ho adwuma na yɛdi. Yɛsan si dan. Yɛsan so yɛ surveying. Mekyerɛ nsase so nkrataa. Yɛsan so di mfidie han. Woyɛ surveyor wo around. Na wopɛ bi de ayɛ adwuma wo ba a yɛbɛnya bi ama wo. Yɛwɔ nsase wɔ mmea bebree. Yɛwɔ bi wɔ Dankyira. Yɛwɔ bi wɔ Awutu Breku. Yɛwɔ bi wɔ Twotwo. Yɛwɔ bi wɔ Akuti. Wopɛ sɛ wo ne Nakado Ghana kasa a frɛ yɛwɔ ahoma yi so 0536 943494.
Yɛmɔkɔ baba Nakado Ghana Limited. Yɛtɔn nsase. Yɛsi adan. Yɛyɛ adan ho krataa. Woba ha no mu a yɛbɛte so ama wo. Yɛasase no langard ni so. Sɛ wo sika nso kora na woba a yɛbɛbɔ mmɔden ne ahwɛ wo. Na watua ne nkakrakra. Sɛ mpo woyɛ bɔdwa adwuma a sɛ wotɔn pure water woyɛ de yɛ woyɛ biara no yɛbɛhwɛ ne ate so ama wo. Wo sɛ wokura wo sika nso sika boten so woba nso a yɛbɛhwɛ na yɛahwɛ ne ayɛ ho adwuma ma wo. Yɛasase no langard ni so. Aha no ntokwa yɛne asase no sɛ ɛni ha no mo. Na sɛ yɛbɔ asase no nso a yɛbɛhwɛ ho ahu sɛ wobɛnya wo krataa a wode bɛ daakye obibi ni a wobɛtumi ayɛ ho adwuma.
Medin the big mama. Mabata asase. Me purpose nyina na me saka yi. Asase so da form e wo Nakado company. Asase no fofofo. So woni wo sika so pa ye ma obi. Na wo twa kakra. Enti papa na me saka yi. Ti obi ambra. Wa magine die. Obi ambra. Wa magine die. Obi ambra. Wa magine die. Nakado company.
John Dramani Mahama.
And may the heavens rescue this land. We need a man with vision to lead. John Mahama is the man for us. Oh, Ghana needs a change. Mumbai and sorry. Let us rise for a change. Sorry and a vote for Mahama is a vote for Ghana. Ghana needs the best man. Rise for a change. Ghana, Naneman, Sakia. John Mahama is the man for us. Oh, Ghana needs a change. Let us rise for a change. Sorry and a vote for Mahama is a vote for Ghana. Ghana needs the best man.
Every omade share, Mimobia Jomimobia Kwaba, eba NDC 360. We Jumedi Strong Kukra, NDC Amanyuko, Yashasha, Yadi Bodeuro, Afa, and the Panisha Pa, you are John Dramani Mahama, and NDC amanyuko woma omai Ghana and Ghana fo nyina ewo afi 2024 abatwa ye kwa akotumu haso ena ensem we ko twiba abreman efa omai Ghana ho amamu bonni a ene amanyema tete apansam a enyema nkoyi a yenyina ye bre no ha ne yi nsem no mako boko tesa chechede nante echechirima abofra kra etiase Mobi akwa ba biem about this special edition of NDC 360. Mediane Sammy Gyamfi musomfo. Achiame hinema NDC amanyuko, and I will be bringing you this edition of the NDC 360 show. Inti maybe I will hear me biano. Emo akwaba. Sene munim da na jumedie. We having a simulcast on 5 TV stations. We are live on TVXYZ, Loud Silence TV, Unia TV, any Wazer TV. We're also live on MBN TV. Oko Techimana, we are live on Akina Radio. And we're live on social media. Facebook at NDC360, YouTube at NDC360 Official, and on X, Dodo on our friend on Twitter, NDC360 Official. Inti, spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend that Sammy Gyamfi and the NDC, we are live on NDC 360. Eha ena no kreni nyina wo. Eha na opese hu de ekoso about Ghana. E was say odi we fidie eto. And I promise you that you will not regret, because this show promises to be educative, informative, and impactful. And until like the link, share, spread the word, like, share, and comment. Like, share, and comment. The show, and we here like, share, and comment, especially sharing, because I was say Yabuama Ghana for the dona ete in sempa yanemo ebabe channel and jumedi. So now, and then what are we talking about on NDC 360? Maybe they train me on the 24th of August. NDC amanyoku nyina yeko piemu ewo Winneba eko pa ye manifesto huntuma eni so ade hunu a NDC amanyoku ye woma omai Ghana the fapem eye yewura John Dramani Mahama odi enim no tu franka me yakọ afi abatu emu no yeko pa huntuma ewo Winneba in the central region ede ene wo. And let yen to me can somewhere woman entro. Yen to me ni nyina hon common net. But ye be ye bear se and semno me and son and 9 na yen to was ya church. And the aspects of the manifesto are ye de brewono NDC manifesto for 2024 election ye de brewono yen semwa when beje ho, because if I sitting ho if I brabo ho ye botomu ho diena yewura John Mahama any NDC beye se ye momo akonya eto abey momo diena ye beye e de atete nyema so ama omanfo ho ahehan diena ye beye ma e de ahoto no nyuma titiru aba. These are the highlights of the manifesto ye ba benyan to boase ne ni wo edi ehun komo on the show. Ejabusia, tell a friend to tell a friend that we are live. Like the link, share the link, and remember to comment. And the show will be relatively shorter. I just say up to 10. So we'll have more time to read more messages. So at this stage, Yebeko a quick break, but this is not really a break because I want to play to you. And you know your launch channel Winneba on the 24-hour economy policy John Mahama Deba. And then you ati say echo viral be any because of how powerful this music is. It is the official 24-hour economy song ya launch it. And just listen to it. Later on in the show, we will launch another 24-hour economy song. But for now, watch this song. So you see, I'll take you through some of the highlights of the program. Near Dosuko Manifesto Nimu and Yebenyan to Wasia a church and Semnimu. Teach you a witchy castle. Now, more Munyante and our sense, why dream I your castle and the Winti Bibiasano. What to me at as a new member says here. Welcome to NDC and you. And Yajebre and Udin Komofa and Shashia part the policies, the programs are NDC Amanyuku, Yadibigua Kwemu, Amagana Beya Krabehe. Eden Sisama Pabeba. They are dim puntuoni in Numani Ahutobeba or my Ganemu. And Yadihun Komo. Medical culture say 2024 Aba Yekwakotui. Ayabatwa ewu here. It's as a prim yenina yahomete yawa huchrekesimu. This nation is in a mess. And abatwa weni akwenya ye wose ye besisem na insisa papa bagana. We cannot afford to waste this opportunity. Because yebenya akwenya bi se biemno na mfie na yechi. So this is a very crucial election. Minu mienu nyina no ya brabo depends on it. Yen dache ne yen madache depend on it. We can't joke with it. And for us in the NDC, adie baako enye no nko aba adie baako was ye gina so. Ne nyina ye de to abapa. Apart from ya sitting apart from Taxation proye dream kankai krono a ekoso a edi o mai nya no ntie bre na no ntie wose yesesem no ade ba ko a eno so mu hia ene enhwehwe a amanyoko ahodo e egina ba no ede ba omanfo ani se we ni etimupo we ni ani suade hu no a se moma ye kwan a ede be ye adwuma de hin na be boa wo man no who has the right practicable solutions. And that is why we are bringing you this NDC and you segment. Numa Wutien was official 24-hour economy song. But after launching this, we launched our manifesto. Now, manifesto no, and sana midu be uremuno, mamini kai, emmo ensembia, yura John Dramani Mahama editudra, ewo winiba at the launch. Yabo san semino near the munchiri mu emawa, ube baby Ghana jina sisi. Ghana na yede show mampenye Kufuado ba womia ne MPP nsano na sen na esitie yenkaka ye ho na eneso hefa na yedru na wohudie ntia ensem e wo ye manifesto no tie na utie ne ye netimi aboa mo ato aba ama John Dramani Mahama and the National Democratic Congress. So first of all, let's watch a short clip of how John Mahama was introduced. Here we are, a short clip of some of the things that Okaye and Sakran Yewura manifesto demo.
From the north to the south, from the east to the west, there is a loud cry for change. And make no mistake about it, this cry for change is not about any political cry for change. It's about the redemption of the soul of our nation. It is about the healing of the soul of our nation. It is about resetting our country for jobs, prosperity for all, and accountability. And ladies and gentlemen, as daunting as this task is, we all have the collective capability under the right leadership to turn things around. The right leadership. But you see, who is that leader who can be trusted to lead all of us to build the Ghana we want together? I'm sure you will agree with me that that leader is none other than the visionary nation builder. A man of vision, a man who has love for Ghana, a man of integrity, despite the many lies which were heaped on him and the deliberate character assassination that this man was subjected to. Today, God and posterity has vindicated him. Today, he remains squeaky clean. And one thing about this man is that he is not a try and error person. He's a man with a proven track record. In only 4 years, Choboy, this man gave Ghana the best international airport in the whole of West Africa. Boy, in only 4 years, this man gave us the biggest port in the whole of West Africa. In only 4 years. And I'm not talking about projects that someone started and he came to complete. Projects started and completed. Choboy, in only 4 years, under his leadership, the Bank of Ghana Hospital was built. In only 4 years, the Ghana Maritime Hospital was built under his leadership. In only 4 years, the Dodowa Hospital was built. In only 4 years, here in the central region, the Kaswa interchange was built. In only 4 years, the Kaswa Polyclinic was built. And under his leadership, in only 4 years, we saw the single largest contribution to our secondary school stock in Ghana. The commencement of the construction of 124 secondary schools, 46 of which he completed and operationalized. And today in the central region, if you go to Diaso, you will see some there. If you go to Mori, you will see some there. If you go to Awutu of Akko, you will see some there. And that is why we call him the nation builder. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the stone that the builders rejected, which has become the chief cornerstone, the flag bearer and the leader of the great National Democratic Congress, and by the grace of God, the incoming president of the Republic of Ghana, welcome to the microphone, His Excellency, His Excellency, His Excellency, His Excellency, His Excellency, His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the nation builder.
John Mahama, waya, 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 waya.
This government must begin writing their handing over notes if they have not started doing so already. This MPP administration has been the biggest political scam that has been pulled on Ghanaians since our independence in 1957. And I'll explain why. They were repackaged with ribbons and sweetly scented with enticing promises. Most Ghanaians will agree that Nana Akufo-Addo is indeed the president Ghana never got. And indeed, I dare say, his much-touted economic whiz-kid, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is also the economic messiah Ghana never got. The MPP government took over from our administration on 7 January 2017. They inherited an energy sector we had stabilized with the fastest mobilization of emergency power of almost 800 megawatts in the history of Ghana. Along with this came a new Energy Sector Levy Act, which we call ESLA, with potential revenues of 3 billion Ghana cedis every year to pay off legacy energy sector debts. They inherited an ongoing Millennium Challenge Compact of $547 million aimed at making Ghana's energy sector the most efficient in Africa. This family, ruling family, quarreled over the shares in the PDS company and led to the US pulling back $190 million, which was meant for the most critical component of the compact, and that is private sector participation and improvement in collections at the distribution end of the electricity value chain. They inherited more than $450 million of the IMF extended credit facility initiated by my administration. Most of our state-owned enterprises were breaking even or making a profit. We handed that to them. They inherited a cocoa production of more than 960,000 metric tons of cocoa, with a cocoa board that was making profit and owed only 1.5 billion cedis to the central bank in cocoa bills. We handed over to them 2 new oil-producing wells, the 10 field and the ENI Sankofa, which increased Ghana's oil production by more than 100,000 barrels per day, with additional gas of more than 200 million standard cubic feet per day. And this increased Ghana's oil revenues from petroleum by more than $500 million every year. They took over from our administration a stabilization fund in which we had accrued $277 million. A Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund with seed money of $270 million. A sinking fund account at the Bank of Ghana with a balance of over $200 million. They inherited a budget that ran a deficit of 6.1% with zero borrowing from the central bank, the Bank of Ghana, zero borrowing. They inherited a stable currency that traded at about 4 cedis to $1. Inflation was at 15.4%. Unemployment was at 8.4%. And when we handed over the administration of this country to the Akufo-Addo-Bawumia government, Ghana's debt as a percentage of our GDP was 56%. As a result of fiscal consolidation, we handed over an economy that was set to grow above 8%, as predicted by the World Bank and IMF and all the credit rating agencies. Private businesses enjoyed an enabling environment to thrive, and foreign investors were queuing to make investments in our economy. The NPP government also took off with a stabilized economy and significant buffers with enormous domestic and internal goodwill. Indeed, this has been the most favored government in our history. But alas, the Ghanaian people's favor, their goodwill, has been repaid with only pain and anguish. This government has received more revenue than all governments combined in the history of Ghana. And as the saying goes, to whom much is given, much is expected. Unfortunately, the people of Ghana have been severely shortchanged by this administration. The scorecard of this administration has been abysmal.
Yes, that is the nation builder, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Nkano, setting the record straight and painting the right picture of Ghana on the share Akufo-Addo ne Uraba Webiansa on the 7th of January 2017, almost 8 years ago. The entire me boss I tape we chair when they say MPP4 omunim ntro di omunim infutru tu oma dada Ghana for peace Joma me kono na nyema nye na nyema say yes Joma me kono na Ghana nte say heaven like any other country na ye what challenges na nyema bibiri owa na enkoye however na yura Mahama ahwehwe nyema ye watoto nyeme ye apejo minus baby a ekwan ya nam so no na ye koye nim impuntu kwan na ne nam so enti President Mahama ansa na oba launch manifesto no kra no shared with us facts and figures untumi ni ho achinye eya no kra turu do de dikai o chiremu a Ghana how ba ko pa na breso ha ye na ye nyina mahoden ho nsem nkania ne ntumi nyina so se dum so iso enya na abreso de fiti ase wo be kaya mo mani afini de munim ya papa Rollins pencil in the 80s yenya dum so ya papa Kofo pencil yenya dum so in fact ya papa JJ Rollins pencil ko yenya dum so Kofo pencil po de okofa asofo so munko akosombo no pe bra base ya so munko akosombo ko bompa na nsu nto na intimi nya nyina mahoden edina nya de foforo na Mahama betoye But you see, he did not blame anyone. He took full responsibility. Said he will fix it. And like he explained in the tape you just listened, I will harass so in 10 terms so. And Yamahode or the bag and he didn't see that. They are married by or the car power by about 800 megawatts in a short period of time. The largest and the fastest mobilization of power are Ghana Yehumbi since Ghana betoho. And the men in Amahode Kenya no so yeswa all kono na yetudum so as. A kaswa na emene. And Yamahode companies like ECG, Gridco, and the Keka Hono, or the a 2B buyer for 2B buyer from Energy Sector Levies Act, ESLA. Afibia maye over 3 billion cedis, maye di tuyasa akano. And that was the solution to Yanyana Mahwadin problems. Senebeya, Eka Emma ECG, Gridco, VRA, and Samsung Kodumso, Tibium. Jomama, is a problem ni free. Or Samsung Kra maye gas. And Yana Mahwadin, Enfidiena, and Mayan Kenyano. Yadebe gum, Ujaframa, and Debe Mayan Kenya. Because and before that, now you be here gas, I just say I call Nigeria, I call crack. Afibiana Ghana, $300 million just on the importation of gas. And by building the biggest factory in Ghana, and the Tuabo gas processing plants. Any Ghana gas company, I be Yumama Ghana for be brain we solve that problem. And in Kenya problem, no, they are solved. By the time John Mahama echo. Bobekaya 2015 John Mahama de echo IMF. Na nye se ye de cat se na ye de kai ntumi ntue da bi. Na ye pese investors GD omo we sika semu ye pejama ne kosoro ne yetimi twi sika eba Ghana be ye mpuntu. We need policy credibility. Enti ye ko we walk to the IMF. Young career on a stretcher and in an ambulance. They said they are being koye. Just $937 million. They knew $1 billion in put. Yanomu kuyomo, omo da stretcher so omo ka omunti mintua. Omo bo mine into 3 billion preko. We went $937 million Yewra Mahama nsa no. Kakre bi no je na breso ebe to no mande de ye adwuma. Sika ni mudodo $450 million. Omampenye Kufuor ne bawumia ene be yusu ye. Just the president Mahama ka asem wo winiba enka Ghana fo bebre nim MPP for no mudi na terms of the IMF. Now IMF chese we incompetent. They came and met the IMF money $450 million. They drew it down. Omo na be to ye omo di ni kwa. There was omo de ye no omo amfanye. Enye no nko a John Mahama eko ujesika tiemi ye Ghana bakosemu minim omampenyi a ofra konya so kwa na ya bofoto under the Fourth Republic at least asika dem sinking fund for to John Mahama boy say yen sie sika wo yen kora sika wo na Ghana ye ka ye de ne mre so say wasi yetua kana yakofa sika no e de yetua. Look at how visionary John Mahama was. He said I know see dwene hwe kan. Because President Kufuor in 2007, now Okoje your first Eurobond, Bessie di kind e wa mansembia so $750 million. And now President Mahama himself merebe soa e was a Ghana tuasa aka no. Amamu also yanto aso untu bi nkasa Kufuor na je ye nti no memfa ho. Enti obotfo no e kanimu first $250 million President Mahama paid. And a $500 million aka no. Uchesi kato sinking fund mo. Kufuor do ne ba wumi aba ne sika ne dem. Osanso bo foto foforo. Aye friend no Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund GIF. Foto sonko obo ye se port duties aye etua no ho no yentimu kakra emfa nkoto na yemfa nye mpuntu nyuma ngwa infrastructure investment. Mpuntu nyuma kese a edi nyuma beba Ghana edi nkoso ni mpuntu beba. And also so opana Kufuor do ni nua ketewa bawomia baaye no na $270 million sika cash edem. And MPP vote Mikasa Joma and your he left them a mess. You came a mess sinking fund, $500 million. Gave $270 million. Ghana, all you seekers. Na Eurata Mills, Amaya Mra, 2011. Petroleum Revenue Management Act. Amrano Atrese. Yente Sikani be 15%. And Koto Fotua ye freno stabilization fund. Stabilization fund, like the name suggests. Yes, ye all you sikano, ye didn't atamels no your mama say no. My yen nina. You bet to me the 70%. I had there was ye biane. But bear 21%, not 15. Sorry. Yen fancy. Na o mine kwa muchire mua ye de abeboa. 9% ye yen fan to nchirima ho. Ye see a friend heritage fund. Sa stabilization fund nkwa joma ma ekono de be $300 million natum. Itemra coronavirus ba ya o man sika semi e basa no. Eno na akufu ado ne bagomia ekomu ekoyi 1.2 billion cedis, not dollars. It was $300 million, but they went in for 1.2 billion cedis. Because now, as a 20 I covered the buy a dollar ye bear 6 cedis, no. When they multiply $300 million a January, that was in excess of 1.8 billion cedis. So they went for 1.2 billion cedis. And yeah, nonko yeja Abaywe enyuma kesia na nyine enya mfaso, like President Mahama said. Na breso 2016 ECG enya mfaso. Na breso 2016 Gridco enya mfaso. Cocoa Board enya mfaso. Bank of Ghana enya mfaso kura enya sika kosi hospital. Eno na ne ye friend of the bank hospital cover the buy and cry ha. E wona na Akufo-Addo ministers o masala Eco hospital. Vibrant, viable, strong, profitable. Abai nyuma na efe nipa bebree enyemapa. Joma meko. Osansu ja nkofoi America sika $490 million. Yemfa me ya dia ye friend power compact. Ni yemfa CSC ECG. Se be ya dum so magana biem America fo sika omde man no almost $500 million. Eno no mokote abusua company, Nanfofo company, omode baba fo munim enyina mahoden nyansa bia ekototo ano a onche ni United nti entokwesi omuntemu a America force omusika omafa omfa maye biem nti $190 million hwe ahwere Ghana kata hyehe pro ye ni sikeni brenti abusua baako eno enema tape bi ba bonti amote gabi ocheda ko voice Akufo-Addo nua bumpy voice omo che shares of ECG adia Mahama di ja omo bi o ma se no Yura Mahama eko yes na nipa bebre ni adwuma but what was the unemployment rate like he said 8.4% internet was form mbomponso anyama bo fa so kosoro ye friend inflation rate 15.4%. Like it was not the ideal, but at least 90%. And like President Mahama said, Ototo nyeme year ma 2016, wanye 1 cedi busia from Bank of Ghana, yam prenti sika 1 cedi kramano. Ene mohwe baby ya Ghana yedi ja ba wo miam no mo dia ba bedru. Bibia say, bibia tetia pansam. Yeka cry into me. And after President Mahama painted the right picture about Ghana, yede share Akufo-Addo ne ba wo mi ansa no. Osanso kan baby, kan bibi efa baby a Akufo-Addo ne ba wo mi aba be for which reason? Or say they must make their handing over those ready because they must go. E was oboko. Na de obetumi ayo man ni ye no oba. Hwe we ma mesisi ai.
An inflation rate that went as high as 54% and is currently still hovering above 20%. Ghana today has one of the highest food inflation rates in the whole of Africa. We have a currency that has depreciated to almost 16 cedis to $1, and we borrowed more than 70 billion from the central bank, the Bank of Ghana. causing a serious upsurge in inflation and causing the Bank of Ghana to go broke. We have a debt to GDP that went as high as 104%. And today, the unemployment rate is almost 15%, from just above 8% in 2016. Worst of all, Ghana has defaulted on her debt payments and has therefore engaged in a debt exchange that has resulted in painful haircuts, and they have deferred the tenure of bonds at lower interest rates. This has caused a lot of trouble for investors, including pensioners. Cocoa production, which has been one of the mainstays of our economy, has plummeted, and for the first time in the history of our country, the Cocoa Board annual syndication, which was sought after by all international banks, today it has no takers. Nobody is willing to lend Cocoa Board any money. Production volumes are down, and Cocoa Board is seeking to delay delivery of almost 350,000 tons of cocoa to next year. It means that your government, NDC, is the one going to have to find the 350,000 to fill that hole, to pay the debt.
Yes, Abusianfo. So that was President Mahama again. And but in the next episodes, we'll be bringing you more clips from this important program. Baby Ghana. Inflation na 15% na almost a sondodo. Pomponso anyama boko soro no eko mirika dodo no. Ekosoro could do 54% 2022. Shini pa bibri betiro musika. Nipa bibri anu aduane bo. And now me no ka say ya almost about 22%. Na say 15% na enye no mo ka say nto abentia Mahama 22% eye. Eno no mo de bibri ki 8. Unemployment rate 8.4 na mo say nyentie nto abentia Mahama ye to abetia no. And more than 15%. And Mahama eko Ghana na yeka o de totu ye sika ye wo nyina ho debt to GDP ratio. Na ye sika ye wo no emu ohamu chichemu adonum nsia 56% ebitimetu ayeka. And ye friend debt to GDP ratio. And Ghana as of December 2022 besiabo bebrebe ni sika die basa anti. O de Ghana katotu ye sika nyina ho 104%. Eche say ye ton Ghana nyina kra intibintu ayeka. Tiene ka mne Ghana intibintu ayeka. Omo a ya bo mo ho besia nyina no. Ya mo haircut. Eche say omu sika wo se nka ye de ma wo mo no. Aban na fabi. Omo fo ma no kopem dan. That is why our pensioners our maba ben besia, including the former Chief Justice and Chair Krano Moye Oyechere ewo Ministry of Finance. Edinsi Ghana bakose muda. Ene edwuma bia MPP for gunu, PBC ya gunu, Cocoa Board ya gunu, Gihok ya gunu, ECG omagu, edwuma bia omaguno. Joma ama bresu yetimiti cocoa na kakakra na 1 million tons. Atamos abresu yenya 1 million tons. But 2016, 969,000 metric tons. And ebisa say yeti cocoa ni yeti say 500 metric tons wa yenye bi. Ito omo aye kwaje omo besia say ye de ba beto cocoa abro omo ye de omo ka 350,000 tons. Yenya cocoa na nko. Cocoa edwuma na egu no. Ye ka omo ma yenka. Cocoa Board a car omo de wo Bank of Ghana over 13 billion omo ntimi ntua. Ite busuanfo areho. Penyi se di odani jamu no on nim se ne sihye ne fa. Wa wutie mi se koyi o enkoyi wunim. Na wunim so se enkoyi. Na ye yam fonso ne ye to abama MPP bi mu a. Ne ne de e ka ne se oman no ma se ni se ya emu aye denden dia ye bre. Na da omudi adada yen taxes omoka so be ye free on so mudi over 40 agu ye so a ye komu bu no ye pene so ye ni je ho. It will be an expression of our satisfaction with the misgovernance and the destruction of this country by the NPP. ye yam for so ne to aba ma omo a se obi enansi umene oku na wo man fans obe chim ne nan no wabu ko mu preko. Let's not make that mistake. That is why you must pay attention to John Mahama ni so ade hunu ne hwehwe pa awo NDC your manifesto ye to dwa no. It has something for you. And I'm going to the screen and I want to give you a summary of 3 parts of manifesto na ye to dwa no. The first part eye etoawodo a Bawumia Akufuado ni MPP di agu yeso ama Ghana ye dendende ene otonwa yento ufri ayentua. One of the reasons is because of taxes. What do you call supermarkets and a ports and as a feelings a grocery shop ko restaurant na ko to ade bia na re ye bob ma receipt ne taxes nkungu so e do so kra cha ade ne bo eneminem yetua covid levy yetua levy yetua ngusie to emissions levy, so many taxes. And President Mahama was shebo about these taxes in the manifesto. What will you do? So let's start with taxation. Now, where the manifesto I did to Ghana, ade ba kwesi President Mahama ni so kwanya ye be fa so ateto so eto bebre na ama businesses free Ghana ko Cote d'Ivoire ebi ko Togo ebi ko Nigeria no. How can we reduce those taxes na magana for one high? Because ansakra na the policy bi beba say wo ba be school wo be ya kwan e wo say nipa eti o man ni mu no omo hutimi high omo. So we are starting with taxation. Now, this is what President Mahama is promising. Say, within the first 90 days, levia bawumia ediaba. Emewo hieni obreye adwuma titi ni mo wuremu a na onya kakra. O sendi sika ma ne baby o sendi sika ma ni nua bi wo sukuu mu. Or send this car and busu any bia number will me at 11 no. Sa 11 no. O man penny John Mahama say obi Eddie free will be chem. Now for apart from levy John Mahama si obi chem no. COVID-19 levy to make sense back okra. It doesn't make sense one bit. Say Corona yare ba 2024 years ago. Ghana onyame adom yenye sika over 30 billion because of that. I'm saying we're having some technical hitches. So we will go for a short commercial break and come back. Master, what is happening here? A little technical hitch. That is why we took a short break. And when see the number nugusu Americano is about taxes. Etwa hodoa Yura John Dramani Mahama si oba obitwem. And the first tax is levy. Medi country mu say levy etwa it makes sense because Bawumia ne kachre on Peace FM in August 2016. In fact, August 2020. Say momo die ye for na ye momo nti ni say ye de to bia eto momo so eno nti enya de a MPP aban e de to ebeto momo so. That is what Bawumia said. Ewi akire no they brought levy and utie then General Secretary John Boadua oye Chief Executive Officer ma MPP na samra ye pass levy no ko cabinet meeting na or say Bawumia na levy mra no kro ne twerɛ. He was very instrumental. You can Google it. Kojo Oponkroma said it. Gideon Boako Bawumia as a spokesperson said it. And John Boadu said the same thing. But Panocha no John Mahama so Baba be trem. It had John Mahama o send Mumu. O ye electronic transaction, Uber. O ye any transfer ye until levy ye be trem. COVID-19 levy, like I was explaining, Yaria ababe kumyeno, ababe se ni pedumano, yemfanya tuo enyi ni sika emfi ni panche. Eya pu, eye etimodin. Ghana bakose mu yenti bibi se mpenyin semda. Say yaria bi abaye se de yaria no ada ne tuo. We don't have cholera levy, we don't have HIV levy, we don't have malaria levy. You need typhoid levy. That didn't hear what COVID levy. Because a buy no de biano, and I'm sick at dientino, sick be on benya bianso. Into choir on my first day, Nancy Nitia de Twaba may you sicamo much dingua. Then yes, sir, Eden a COVID ababe kumnipa, and yes, answer the Adane tour. Now, COVID is one mamusika over 30 billion with the Ashenekwa. So why are we still paying COVID levy? About COVID 2020 the buy by 2022 now COVID the trem. Do your checks and yet they make an why you mu or men be we are seeing not West Africa, not Africa, not in the world, no country energy COVID levy from their citizens. Why must we pay COVID levy? It will go to Obama MPP Nibawumia. You want to still pay COVID levy? No. Yen tremni e won toye. John Mahama said within 90 days bosome miensa pe obetwem. We ye emrantie no to baako a ha wo pa. On say betting. Enya de a eye obia pe se obeye betting. It is not ideal se obi be ma ne ba ye betting. But se na adwuma ni ho. Boys tifie the mu be declare day. Uncle Bokro no ana. That's the question. Uncle Bokro no. I was set. On also trying to look. And away yes pa cha na sa cha na yinim titititi way of football. Manchester and Chelsea ko bo hwa na be Chelsea be shemienu. Okay. Chelsea shemienu ana wanya kakra atwaduane di. Eye. Even though enya no the yehwe ama mabru ne emrantie no. So it has become a refuge for all these unemployed young people. I know omania to talk omusemwa omundi boafobia omuhudi omunye. And also so ba womia se utwa bet na wudia 10% or jo tight 10%. Ti akra no obetwa bet e bedi ni saa be afe one day be a tonelize with 1,000 Ghana biana ba womia je 10%. And also so John Mahama will be trim. Now, to no the omodi aba one pa ba ko ni friend emissions levy. And also so e to bemba will be say ene afidie bia e produce musi bia na oje ne to. It will kada abuboya Mahama can do car mutu obi a trot 207 bus obi a tuya 100 Ghana and the account, depending on who produce. Who would have thought, say, under the so-called economic messiah, I also be moving from taxation to production. We will be paying e-levy, COVID levy, emissions levy, and 10% betting levy. But Kenya, Mr. John Dramani Mahama is coming again. The nation builder, the oyano kwa fwa waka samwa ubetu miyajine dino, or baby. Na oso betwemu ampa. Ba wo mi anam no di atro. Because what I said John Mahama so betwa e-levy mu. Into no so akoka bi. COVID levy ni de on to be nka. Into akoka metwa e-levy, metwa bed levy mu. E-levy so wa na wo de bae. Into bed na ya agye wadi se wo betwam. Betting levy wa ba wo mi wa na wo de bae. Eda na wakasa wo betwam ti anyi wuni. Na yeti a high neat, my studio high neat. Na me camera person bi ba no be ye hanfu true. Na ono asan so je praye pra wa ye bibia wo se boyense manana. Enti senka e ya mpampo se obeye firi mpo anka enye ade mwaso bia because no one de bai. Ono ena oye chairman of the economic management make ba womi asem. Ba suku a ehwe Ghana sikasem sum primprim ba womi is a chairman. Akufu ado se ono wonim sikasem totoye wagya ni nyina ama ba womi. Akufuado said it. Tibawumia ene yi ono na ebegina simpie so ebobo odin agema ye kan say What a solid team. Alan Kojo Cheremante, Wabo Weti, Akoto CFE, Jambafo. What a solid team. I don't know, Bawumia. And a solid team, no money the taxes we have. And the same Bawumia was here about Unimsa Ghana for where we fee. They said you about 2020 or Becatre say, he levy on Vamba, Namumu Yanfu ni Yusu. Now you're 2 man and I was a matreke 419, no diaba, Sakawa, Frakadam, and all sounds what be him. In Penisi, first fool no be fool, second fool no be fool, but third fool. First also, mommy. Inti minim se Ghana for mo hwe munim de we will not fall for those lies. Or no kra no ba womiano. Mpanyimfo se kwatere kwase obema ntoma no watie ne di. Enei ono na ehwe yesika sem nyina so. Obesi yeso asenka wa hye na. To no ilevi ne to ya working so opeso yi free wa. Ene ya obetuma yi free o. Because bibia ni wa ba womia ka akufu ado ntie. Akufu ado do ba no. Kufuado angasaka ose nyanse wo wiase mu nyina enye ono akufuado tim na wo ose ba womia tim na wo obedi machinya akohwe ayawa so west were gone by election last rally MPP for year ehona akufuado ka asase no the tape is there the better na ba womia akufuado se nyanse nyina wo ni tim na oka kire akufuado se ontwa to mu a wontwa ba womia pa obetwam enti nanse okohia nsɛmtwɔfo a ɔkeka taxes yi se oba obi ye free one ana nsɛmtwɔ ni nyansani bibisa na sɛmbisa nyansasɛm bio ɛna ɔse ba womia wo se oba yi tuo ye free wa ɛnɛ wo na wote akonwa so wo na wo hwɛ Ghana sikasɛm so ɛne atwam ni anyi wo ni ye free ho question nsɛmtwɔ ni bisa ye ni asa the answer Bawumia gave will shock you. Me say asem no na fa abo me pusa say hey nenti Ghana pa baby edu ni MPP. Is this how low the party has sunk? That today this is their leader? But when me catch the Ghana for say, minim say eto na media begu mu so no mu we kumo mo bre. Na me yifri one na me den nya manifesto. Ne answer no. O say the enti ato no ontimi nyimfri one ne na ye bra yesu no. The enti Bawumia say ontumi nyi to ni mfri one say. Oyifri wa onya manifesto. A obeye o mampanyi a nyame pangu tofi akwa obeye enti se na beye obenya manifesto no obeye mampanyi obenya adwuma ayenti to no onyimfiri wonne onyimfiri wo china Bawumia no ye no nyame na meka. That is what Bawumia said. Udi mechinya hwe video e mame.
Other issue was that we wanted to do these tax reforms, import duty, flat tax, tax amnesty, and so on. Why don't I do it now? And why do I want to? I must have a manifesto. Otherwise, if I do everything now, if I could, what would I do when I come into office?
No. Look, for our party, Semtonchai. We are Ghana ni unyamia bo we badwema. Dwen asem we hu ye. Ask yourself, way yetimi de ye mampanyi ma ne ye. Ya bisa wo se eto ye a wo hye bo se ye nto aba ma na wo be yi firi ho da ache no. Enne wo na wo te akonwa so. Wo na wo de bae. Nti se wo se ye nyi firi wa wo betumi ye firi. Eye wa wo party ene wa bem. Because Nanado still or MPP ni, Bawumia MPP ni. MPP su di mu na Bawumia ba bejina. It is MPP set tuone nye yin free wa. Ene umbeti me ye free. Dia na Bawumia ka. Ose asabu enye sere obi ansere ono nkwa na esere. Oso obi di tura. Asabu enye sere kura no no de be concert asere. Se I ohia manifesto. Ento ono ne manifesto nti betimi amana hyebo ntituo no nyimfiri wo erade bon be na Ghana for the ayenkrofo we I need to get a manifesto na me yituo ni free wa me ba na nti wo yituo ni free wa na je Ghana ye problems asana wo be ye o mampanyi a nyame mpangu untumi enya adwuma anya bi mana governance is a continue It's about solving problems. And never solve a problem or channel for beba. Then you solve. But you don't say ne a toa media ba e bunko for coming free or become you free more charming your demand. What? It do a toa no and on a problem. We free wa a juma for wow beba. But because entro no di now on your taxes no be ye free one tino. One was more kind. Why did I play this video to you? Come in me more mokra. The reason is simple. To say there, yes, Christ will catch us every year, Breno. I trade you for the and throw touch them and I don't touch them. I am telling you about what Braba MPP4 led by Bawumia. Omo de atron sema dokon sem ebebebiem. But who carry semino now the quadrin dream will be who's at the Omokano. I dream pebiante actually look crebianim. And this is a technical example. Now I am still on the taxes. Tax number 5. Yera Mahama when is what they will say infidi juma obe pijem. Kuyayo o pijem. Na buama Ghana efan into my pefra. Enti wasans wa shebo in the manifesto say eye import duty a ewo cars any infidia yede ye infidi juma industries factories. The yede kuya tractors, planters, harvesters. Infidia yede be kuya na ama kuya yono etimi akoso kama na aduane abuso. Infidia yede be factories, industries na ma adwuma ba ma memo ane baba wanya biaye no. O kra bi ba Ghana duty e woso no uye free ho untua. Eno so ye na toa baako of petrol, 14 pesos akotoa baako of diesel. 1 liter. Na saa to no ye tua se ne be ya aban be jeje agu no waboaboa no na eda petrol ni diesel bo be kosoro amansandwa so a e wo se bo no so kosoro wo Ghana no na aban akofasa sika no na odi abetre petrol bo no so subsidies na ma ye ho ayede ahehan aban we led by Bawumia ne Akufo-Addo betena konwa so Ekomfie Motwi, Omajeje South we more than 3 billion cedis. Price stabilization and recovery levy. Price stabilization. You destabilize petrol ni diesel bo. Send be ya Ghana for who be high. Omwaje sika no fan support na petrol ni diesel bo mra from one. Sika no medi ni nyina. Eno na Akufo-Addo de charter wi mhyen na one se wa bro ni moji omani na odware gu yeso no. So President Mahama say oba sa atuo no ye bejeje na ye de aso Ghana for ase and obeboa ma petrol ntumu no aba form because they say petrol gallon almost 70 cedis, diesel gallon almost 70 cedis, 68 ni actually abrajo Mahama abreso na ye just 14 cedis ade ene akotwa ketwa no liter no bo e 15 cedis a sokrache Mahama gallon kese ne boa na 14 cedis. All because of amamu boni Bawumia ne MPP4 but the fracadam ebeji to me e de edie. Na yonko yenim. Another tax that President Mahama eba be yen adwuma ne de ahoto aba eye okoport charges and fees e wo. Minua ofa any item a wo clear no port guta for Ghana Gyamfi importers and exporters. Mechia mo nwumre munim asema make ye mo nim semwa bogafo amode nyema ba munim charges and fees eguso ni duty no nko aburo 24 different charges and fees ukotibia urebeho. President Mahama say pano twa no oba ni aba be rationalize ye betete so simple it was here tete so because Ghana, yes, we will encourage the production of local goods and services. But the capacity to produce the organ in an inho. Now, say what duty nimu, net fees and charges nimu, do ever portwa. The Oko Krabano, no so, or the beto de boso, to could you more to wine to. As our port charges be baba, we may dear porto, and I may brand. Or by also or the benchmark value discount about what port duty so 50% or bois. That is who Bawumia is. Adokodoko ne nada hene, entro hene. Ojitumi opetumia ne kasanko. Ojitumia ne kasanko. Inti portofwa or catch up say me the benchmark value discount aba metete import duty to 50% na nyina na entro. Today he is making the same promise. Abrao no netia konwa so a so person wo ya akobetumi aye ne ne. Yenko ye ne. Number 8, VAT to Ghana ni bi atua. Consumer tax, VAT obi atua VAT. Ye den hyehyɛ foforo bi ba on VAT a eno so be ma ye wan han. This first one is for businesses. Get fund and NHIL 2.5%, 2.5%. Ghana ni bi atua ade abeto bi abida so. Na businessman na ono akofa na ade eba no. Ono ontua VAT. Eye wa wo kwa akoton akwa consume no una wutua. Enti efri tete businessman no okokra nyama na ba wutua de efre no input VAT. Na oton wi a wagene output VAT into the second sika. MPP for buy no get fund NHI no ma de free VAT no. Enti businessman no tua na input VAT na output VAT no nya. So in effect no businesses omo VAT omutua no akosoro 5%. Joma ama so ba besesa sa ade no. The businesses VAT omutua no ebeba from. Afi ye wonwuma nketenkete bi wo ho a obi ye bojobojo na VAT GR4 ha no otua VAT. Sa bojobojo nwuma no micro and small businesses obi abie ni supermarket ketwa bi oton ade wo table so na oton ade wo kwan ho no Joma ama say ye nyi omu free VAT tua mu nti omu nyina ye ba be yi omu free. Afi VAT edan kenia so Joma ama say obeye free ho. 3% VAT flat rate ye be ye free ho. Na VAT no ya ne baako. Ye nyina ye tua the same thing. Inti VAT so won hyehyɛ ya Joma ama de ba no next. We so the baba be ama because Ghana you see currently nipa kakra bi omo ya ban adwuma a omo ankasa wo omo adwuma ene tua tax. Nipa dodo na ntua. But omo ye adwuma jisika go omo botom. Na ye free say inse say ye beto tuo mu ama sa nipa kakra bi no mutua to ko abu no. Ene ye ntrem na omo ntua no so ntua bi. Say na be ya obi aho be han no. So that is what we mean by broadening the tax base. No more budget tax and no more all the leakages are GRA no. Ye be sisi ntokuru ni nyina na ye jisika na ye timi de aye adepa abo my Ghana. Lastly on taxes. Tax exemptions. Ghana ye mra parliament itimi ma ho kwan se e ma obi ntua tax. MPP for ba ye no o ma sei sa mra no. O mo de aye party sem. The herewanim na ubetimi atua bribe bi ama wa mo se ama tax exemption no ma fa akira ba no ma ba beje omo percentage. And the tax exemption has now become a business for MPP4. Ye ka say the tax ache obi nipa na ye the tax ache no adwuma ba na o ya ma Ghana enya so mfa so ntia ye the tax na che no that enye de omo hwe no omo party for ni omo business men na omo betumi ajeje sika no wo mo na say we achel tax 100 million we dey bring 20 million be kickback. And that is why I say eba be sesambra no near the periphery yo yama tax exemption ni mu ada ho nti ye ka say ye the tax e che adwuma yoku bi a eye adwuma yoku a na adwuma wo ba be ye no hu hia Ghana benya so mfaso e de adwuma beba e de nimdie beba Ghana nti ye che ne tax a so mfaso wo ho e competitive enye se nipa kakra bi na ekwa akwachi sumu ase no mo de ama mo party for abra o man ni nya so mfaso bi ano mo makochi sika no edi. So these are the 10 tax policies NDC manifesto mu a me pesa what ase and the low hanging fruits COVID levy ye twem, e-levy John Mahama e twem, betting levy o twem, engusie to emissions levy o twem, port duty fees and charges or teso, VAT or teso. Before say to abanama Mahama ne NDC ni yes anyema we are and Mahama is somebody you can trust. And then medical one will say the policies in the manifesto are making one seminal. Policies are ebema ye hwan high. And sakran ye beko education, health, security, agriculture. Next week, Because in the next couple of weeks, a manifesto will come teach you any ebidi on NDC and youth segment. But then Benji said the akoko be di ansa na pese bro beba. Mahama the big push ba or the way about na die no be ni sesi e be ma ye ho atoyen. We 90 days. And just wa shebo ne keke te said de obi na mo a wo shebo no. O say me ye ne na e be de manya manifesto sa na obeba no. Obeka say oh tax ni me free wa 2028 me de nya manifesto. Enti me ma tax na wo say na be ya 2028 menya manifesto. Sa na obeka akire. Unimo wu ahwe na kwatere kwaso so obema ntoma abusua tie ne din. So now yenhwe obroni fe bibi social interventions. Inhyehyɛ aban ɛyɛ na sɛdeɛ sɛ ɔyɛ na wɔde bo ahianfo mɔbrowa oni bie na ɔmo so ho timi tɔwɔ. Social interventions eni woman mu a ɛde ahokyerɛ ɛne yawdie ɛna ɛba. ɛna me ne udi nkomo about 6 key ensia social interventions are NDC ne John Mahama ebeye a ede NDJ beba ha hia me pa ntete ne yema. Next the edikan yera John Dramani Mahama so the hihye bi ba your friend no fee stress me de ba twika samu a school fees a awofo ne edusuafo entete omombre wo ho yempese akoda bia bedwendwen na wabre wo school fees ho e wo suapon ahodo e wo Ghana. Public tertiary institutions. Yaka public tertiary institutions are there: university, polytechnic, technical university, college of education, nursing training. Sa edusuafo ni nyina no John Mahama se wo hu se enkra ne bebre ko free SHS wie wa pass ne nsohwe aba. Admission fee a yesi onko tua ansa na waba school no 30 million sika dada 40 million 25 million obeden tua ebi aje so yakobo besia impempi so no emra awofo wo no ye kakra bi enti obatan bi a woni bi no wo se ne ba no wetwa pa ma hu akora wabo 6 we enye sika anko university legal oda so tifie enti John Mahama say under no fee stress policy edikan ode ba ne say akra bia wo be passe akọ public tertiary institutions say college of education, nursing training, university, polytechnic, technical university. First year uko school no o ma me ontua academic fees e free u school fees ankasa ontua in the hall fees ne SRC dues ne sa anyama na obetu but school fees aban ni tua ma schools ni bi wo wa sa school fees na 25 million 23 million do mama say oba wafasa akani nyina wontua eno ne de edikan. Next no academic fees the atoso mienu omo second year, third year, fourth year continuing students so almost so bre first year ni na ye fa the school fees amani free no no so obeko second year obi so kra wo second year obi wo third year obi wo fourth year dia na be ya ama wo mo tertiary education boa ye dey wo Ghana dodo e wo say aban boa because so check article 25 plus 1C of the 1992 constitution wo ho o say ye basic ni free primary ni JSS ni ye ni free ni wie yemra secondary ye secondary ni free we yemra university suapon ahodo ni mo. And that is where we are starting from, and we are starting with the first years. Until ye first year ni free year, second, third, fourth year no so President Mahama say or the bibiba student loan plus na ebi ka ho no ti dey friend student loan plus. Until ye nya BA school kura na wo pisika kotua school fees a wo student loan plus a loan no ye be ma okese na wa gena de akotua school fees wo wie school a na watua. Until first year there e free bonto, second year, third year, fourth year ubenya loan na wo de atua school fees yenko ye ni ye toso miensa. Still under no fee stress ye was hard we free tertiary education for obibia wedi them. You say persons with disability. Obi wa wontumi nante, obi wa nani hu ade. Obi wo wa na so nte asem. Obi wo ho a owo disability bi. Abusuya enya ne pe no. Besa na ye wo no. Ti oba wi asem sa na ote. But otimi born ho modern akọ primary utwa okọ SS oko JSS wa pass oko SS wa pass no could do university o could do polytechnic o could do technical university o could do college of education o could do nursing training what the president Mahama said abraka yen son as any piano no be because was a ne tibia ni mu no wotimi asua de adru sampompo so na o mine ye betimi aye bibia ma. These are the vulnerable in our society and we must care for them, and John Mahama cares for them. And John Mahama say free tertiary education just obi biara wedi dem asonte asem na ni hu ade ontumi nante e bia problem bi na wo no. Once you are disabled unya drew tertiary schools amabobo din ya suapon ahodo amabobo din ya ubeko school free and when first year nkwa first year free, second year free, third year free, fourth year free, and ejisema abanono yanto aso. All these in the 2024 manifesto of the NDC, the Tifia Semye, resetting Ghana for jobs, accountability, and prosperity for all. Now, where the air there, your friend of Mahama Cares, edi wene wa iti am impenable Ghana Medical Care Trust. You trade it say Mahama Cares. Uko US ayo Obama Care. John Mahama say Obama the Mahama Cares. Indeed, Mahama Cares. Na tie Mahama Cares we nchiremu. Look. Oman bia onhwe omo wo oman ni mu omo yare a mu hia ayare hwe no. Sa oman no onye worth dying for. Any country that doesn't care for its sick is sick. You see, any country that doesn't take care of its sick is sick. Omaya unitima na onwa enhwe wono a wo yare no oman na nkasa yare. Ghana ne ye wo yare bebria eye yare kwankora ha Ghana for bebre make us me mera because me nipa bebre ya omo kosa omo wasa atebe animo obi wo ha ni kidney asay ni liver asay na koma wanya problem cancer wanya problem so oyare cancer different forms of cancer wanya hypertension and a stroke wanya diabetes asichiri yare sa yare ni nyina na ye friend okwankro chronic diseases enya yare a wobetumi treat na watu ase prekope yare a ye manage nti obi nya sa yare na ebi o ya brante bia na ni afi kakra obebo ho kasa kopem se obewu na de masa ni pa bebre ni wu ni se and indeed wo check researcher data na che yare we ni kum ni papa wo Ghana na de mane basa ne se the cost of treating those chronic diseases no doso dodo. And now kidney failure and I was called dialysis mukolebua ubisu. Dialysis back home. Enye easy. Cancer no enye easy. Health insurance also cover cancer and cover dialysis. Health insurance and cover sickle cell and cover asichiri yare and cover sa yare ni nyina. Edu yo hie ni na unya yare ni bia o death sentence no. We're now to a draw. We can't allow this to happen. Fesika kufu ado ne ba womi ani ompanyufo discern kwa. Hwede omo so omo de kwa akoye cathedral omada da nyame ne Ghana fo nyina adane amra kese the biggest hole in the whole world. $58 million. The baka Ghana sikemu a onimne dodo 928 million cedis. Titisika no 9.2 trillion. Ni pe yiwo kidney disease cancer wo yare nyina betimi ahwe omo afe. So President Mahama so ba ono de on fasika no onni se no oba no be suma maye obebo foto Mahama Cares na obi a wo yare we bia no aban no de ate okaso duko hospital a sika wo se wutua no e be kakra bi because aban no e fa kane bi. Next, aside Mahama Cares we free sanitary pass ayera Mahama say o de bre ye mofra ema na omabu omonsa omo primary JHS and SHS obi say hey primary JHS kan omo ka because ene enkoda na omaba no obubu omo nsantempa and awofo no bebre wo ho a omo ntimi ntopad no ndi nkura ne bebre wo school no just the menses ba ntimi kura nko school because entomagu bi no wo use ana star will be no use won't be top pad no eja pad na ye ton 5 cedis Mahama abreso no ene etwam 20 30 maybe 40 cedis depending on the type na awofo say na bosumi bia o mama enu a obetumi awofo do sa de no enti president Mahama waye bi da so ho you say the waye bi da no ne friend no aye boafo free sanitary pass or the buy MPP for dinner temwa and no more the taxes ekura gu sanitary pass so intiminto John Mahama say oba obecheni free amankra or more primary JHS SHS or muhia sanitary pass. Next policy ayato need free primary health care 2020 it was in our manifesto and because President Mahama ye no kwafo nti wasanso de aba die na kire and o ko kron keto animu hospital ni ho clinic no and our polyclinic no and our health center and our chip compound ho na nipa omo yare nyina omukọ itiye ne ya onya malaria onya typhoid disisi ye ne ya onya BP ho no obekọ no ahochiri nti ebi an health insurance onibi ana wo bi kura wu ana yare o de kọ ne health insurance nkoba ansa no betumi afa ka ba kuru kese so oba hospital kese no wahwe ya na wahwe ne nkwa ana bibi aye no the President Mahama say what chip compound health center clinic polyclinic if 2025 echo obetena konwa no so pe wa wo yare a wo beko obi aye behwe free untu ahwe free and then your friend free primary health care oko health center oko chip compound oko clinic oko polyclinic free because you pese yare ne be ye kese nothing na okupi sika ye momfa memra gi momfa menko ha no. So these are the 6 social interventions. In terms of taxes, John Mahama baby ye free ho. COVID levy, e-levy, 10% bet winnings levy, in which year to emissions levy. VAT are all babeteso. Port fees and charges are all babeteso. All these tax policies, in addition to these 6 social interventions. Free primary health care, oko clinic, polyclinic, health center, chip compound. Ye be free under Mahama. Umpe we na pede be. Yes, so